Hello, I am here. Excuse me. Yeah. This is High Priestess Jamila. So, Spirit has a message. This is obviously a very, very important channel message. Look at that candle, how it's all flared up like that. God damn. Wow. So, guys, I talk to y'all about generational hexes all the time. Okay. And whenever I talk about it, I think a lot of people get it confused sometimes because a lot of the stuff that can happen to you and that is happening to your family generationally is because of other industries, because of industry. Okay. So the reason why I talk about medical witchcraft is because the now I know a lot of people are going to disagree, and that might mean because you're not really connected to the ancestors at the moment. But from what they are telling to me is that it's like the medical industry wants to get paid off of us. And then they're doing a lot of experimenting and a lot of experimentation. And I noticed that a lot of y'all, especially y'all that have these health problems that's running through your family, to me, it seems like it's about money, and it's about whether or not you are lucky enough to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? To overcome it. And it's crazy because the medical industry is one of the coldest industries out there, and they don't care if you live or die. They don't care if your lifespan gets cut short. They want you to be codependent on them. It's very strange. It is. It's very strange. And it's so weird whenever you have like a family member that dies. Because honestly, when I found out that my mother died, one of the things that went through my mind was that I want to talk to her doctor. Because you would think that these doctors would, I mean, a 62-year-old woman, she was still very young. My mom died young. She did. She was young. 70 is too young to be dying. And a lot of our parents, they go to these doctors, and you know what I'm saying? I feel like what they're doing is making people sicker. I feel like the reason why you have to get sick is so that they can get paid. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's just like if you get mugged. If you get mugged or if you get shot, the police, they there to you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't get paid if it, and it's not to say that it's their fault. It's kind of like a necessary evil, but yeah, give you medicine that you don't need and stuff. Yeah, and I believe that that's what killed my mom was her doctor. I'm not even gonna lie to you because it makes no sense that she, what happened to her. And so, I was having a really, really deep experience and had to banish away some demons and call to my guardian angel because I believe they collecting souls through that medical industry. I truly believe, and I'm getting a hell of a channeled message right now. And so I did a cleanse on myself yesterday, and my cleansing candle, the flame is literally shooting up in the air, and it's still on my crown chakra. I think that the reason why I started to you'll start to experience certain stuff that may be coming from your mother or your grandmother is because it's like a demon, it's like the devil, you know? And yeah, I feel like I'm definitely, I don't mind being codependent on the herbs and stuff like that. But as far as like needing a doctor to save my life, I don't believe that. And a lot of people feel that way. And your grandmothers and your grandfathers and your great grandmothers, they believe that in order for you to be saved, you had to go to a doctor. They believe in and it's so weird because they believe in their doctors more than they believe in God. And I do believe doctors save lives. I do. But I believe that because of greed, that doctors, there's a lot of people getting sick that shouldn't be getting sick because they have to feed their pockets. So saving your life is not necessarily about saving your life or being, necessarily good or trying to do what's good for the good of mankind. No, it's about them getting paid. It's about them, for some of them. I'm not saying this about all doctors. I'm not, honestly, because I believe that there's a lot of doctors and they call them naturopaths. So I believe that there are some doctors that are actually into healing and not pill pushing. And our Native American ancestors are connected to that. And I believe that they do definitely have agents. That's why people will, try to, I don't know, because it's so weird. And this is not directed towards anybody on YouTube. This is something that is internally in your family. This is something internal in your family. This is something that is running through our bloodlines, is what I'm talking about. And so, at my mother's funeral, I had like a near-death experience. Like I wasn't feeling well. I was like, well, I know I ain't ready to go. And I know it ain't my time to go. And so, but it's so weird how my mother, she was always afraid of dying. And I'm not. Okay, I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of it. It's not something that I just think about. So it's just I don't know. Like y'all got to pay attention to that. And I am getting ready to work a generational hex remover case for somebody. And I'm going to do it. I'm not afraid of it. I've been fucked up before. I've gotten completely fucked up off of these cases before, but I healed, within days, because for some of us, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with medical witchcraft. I'm telling you, because, especially when it comes to shit like anxiety, panic disorder, if you ever feel panicked or something, because I've been having anxiety since my mother's funeral. And if you ever feel panicked or whatever, you may be compelled to dial 911, like something wrong with you. But, by the time you get to the hospital, you fine. But then you got a $5,000 bill. And that is the problem that I have with it. That is the problem that I have with it. What is going on? You have to understand that I spent the first at least 18 years of my life, during my teens and very early 20s, to where I had panic disorder and anxiety. And it would get so bad to where I couldn't even leave the fucking house. And, it's inexplicable. I thank my lucky stars that that's all that it was fear. But where does that come from? And I believe that it's a spirit that procures or can even possibly make people feel sick. I think panic disorder and anxiety is some of the number one things. And I do believe that it is the demon of fear. It's crazy. And, I hate that feeling. Like whenever I have a panic attack, y'all, because I was having a panic attack earlier, I'm just like, it feels like it's the end, but it really isn't. It really isn't, but it'll make you feel that way. And so, I only have that every once in a while, but I've always wondered where the hell it came from. And then I started thinking about my auntie who raised me until I was 5 years old, until my mother came and picked me back up. And I had a lot of fun with my mom. I miss her so much. I love her. But she was a very complicated person because of her so-called health conditions or whatever. Because my mother was codependent on doctors because she had a car accident when she was 16. But anyway, I was thinking about my aunt and how I was there when my cousin Keith died. I was there. And my aunt used to tell me that when we would drive up to the hospital because he died of leukemia. And she said after he died, every time we passed by the hospital, I would point at because I was like maybe 2 or 3 years old when he passed away. And she said I would point at the hospital and say, Dr. Flavor got him up there. His name was Dr. Flavor. And I would say, Keith died up there. Dr. Flavor had him up there. And for some reason, my whole life since then, I've never really trusted doctors. Not really. I don't put all my trust in medical. And so it's crazy. I thank God that so far I ain't really had no medical conditions. Hey, Kendra. And I believe that that's what, over here in Georgia, we have like nuclear fallout pollen. And on some of the days where like it's a high pollen count, like you can get all kinds of weird symptoms. You feel wheezy, you just feel like something ain't right. And so it hit me real hard today. Ain't nobody ain't nobody psychically attacking me. That's why you have to go to your guides. But I feel that it does have something to do with the medical industry, because I was just like, well, what the fuck is wrong with me? I was like, what the fuck? So then I did my swords and my athame. Okay, so I'll be all right. You seriously, man, because and this ain't got nothing to do with no witches on here. Stop it, man. I keep telling people that you got to look inward. You can't just always look at the outside. And so what's inward, as far as what's going on with my bloodline, especially with my mother passing. And I think they cremated her yesterday. And it can be very, very scary. It can be very, very scary. But because I started crying and I said, what if this, I said, what if this is my mother? Because my mother, she would just convince herself that she was dying of a heart attack or a stroke. She would just convince herself of it. And so I think that what it is it's a mind parasite, because I almost wanted to cover up my damn head. And right now I am doing a cleanse. And what spirit is telling me is that once you get through this, you're going to be healthy as a fucking horse. But I'm going to show y'all my cleansing candle and what it's doing. Okay. It's really a trip, y'all. And I know what I'm talking about. See how that candle right there, this is third eye, this is crown. It's burning right on my crown. And I was like, well, shit, do I got the corona? It ain't the corona. I'm telling y'all, it ain't what it seemed like it is. And these people are making money on us. They making big money off of people dying or thinking that they're dying. And that's fucked up, man. Why should we ever have to live like that? I'm actually pretty pissed, but I'm about to go get in the tub and dunk my head under that water, and I ain't scared, because it'll make you so scared to where you don't want to dunk your head under that water. But I'm gonna do it, and it's one of the things that it's how Yemi Ya taught me how to cleanse my head. You gotta cleanse your crown. It's so weird. And this ain't no witch unless it's a high priestess for the medical industry. Could be. Could be a high priestess for the medical industry. Well, bitch, I'm gonna beat your ass today. Okay? For real. And so, that's why Spirit wanted me to get this dragon Athame necklace. That's why. Okay? That's crazy. Like, I'm sorry. I don't fear my enemies. My enemies are not more powerful than moi, because I control my earth. And it's so weird because it just all of a sudden hit me, y'all. I went outside. I didn't feel better. I felt like, um, I just felt like I was being attacked by something. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then also another thing, all of those candles that came here broken, I had to go down there and finally count everything, take pictures. And I got to get, because all of us witches that claim to be healers and light workers, I don't give a damn if you say you a light worker, if you say you a healer. Okay, if you a real true healer, you gonna get hit up by these people sometimes. You gonna get attacked by these people sometimes, because the medical industry is in competition with us. Ain't that a bitch? Like, and they don't want, like what the fuck? Are they just totally greedy? Y'all already got goddamn 60, 70, 80% of the fucking population. They already got like most of the fucking population in chains with that shit. It is a trip. I think the last time I felt like this was like probably 3 to 4 years ago. And I had to put some valerian root. I had to drink some valerian root, because it was almost like whatever. I was like, what the fuck is this? And because your mind is saying, what the hell? But then your body is like doing something that you ain't got nothing to do with. It's like, what the fuck? Like, and you check your pulse, your heart's beating fine. That's usually how dead people know they dead. They check their own pulse. Like, wait a minute, I ain't got no pulse. I'm dead. It's a trip. So yeah, I'm dealing with we all fighting with the spirit of death and sickness right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they want your bloodline for some reason. They go according to your bloodline, and they want as many of us healers gone as possible, so that they can just fuck over everybody. Well, fuck you. Okay, fuck you. You ain't taking no more of my fucking loved ones. You ain't taking nobody else that I love. Okay, include my enemies. Fuck that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And so shit, I don't know. Like, it's a trip, man. Can you go get that valerian root for me, son? I'm about to take some of that valerian root. You can put valerian root under your tongue. Man, that valerian root is nice. Yeah, they mad at me, y'all. And it's some kind of, I can see the high priestess. I could see her. I could see her in the cards earlier. And then see, it's kind of like, I'm just when a lot of us like we got children and shit. These people don't give a damn about our families. Especially when it comes to these so-called mental illnesses. Man, that shit don't exist. That's witchcraft. Mental illnesses ain't nothing but a mind parasite, or a spirit. It's a bad spirit that's in a lot of people, and it fucks them up sometimes. Like, now, anxiety is the most common type of mental illness. It's one on the table, and then I got some on the shelf. Oh, you got it, baby. They are a trip, y'all. And I want it off. Look, like I said, it's got to get the hell off of our family. We sovereign. Let's say it like that. We sovereign. We see you. We know what you're doing, and we sovereign. Period. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your medications and pills to calm down the freaking muscles and walls of my heart or my chest. My mind can do that. And see, that's called mind control. That's why I don't nobody like that fucking Dr. Fauci. We know you ain't right, boy. Took out my cousin Keith, man. And I think I have really repressed heartache and stuff because they said me and my cousin Keith was very close. He babysat me. He was with me every day because I was living with him and his mom, and so he was real protective over me. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing today, though? I hope everybody's doing good. We gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying? We gonna all get through this. I promise you, we gonna get through it. Everybody, and you know what? A lot of people in my family have been having anxiety too. That I'm not gonna let them condemn. And you know what? The only thing that I regret, the one thing that sits on my heart chakra, is the fact that my mama wouldn't listen to me. I wish that she would have listened to me. She'd still be alive to this day. And do I want her alive? Yes. Yes, there wasn't any kind of, it was a loss. Losing my mother was a loss. So, I'm glad that I'm able to come and talk about it in the open, but I actually would have preferred to not. But I guess it's all about divine time, and I guess it just was time. Um, yeah, man, it's a trip. So I'm about to get on in here and get in this tub, y'all. Is what I'm about to do. That's what you do. You get in the tub. Epsom salt is good for that. It'll help. Because something was attacking me, and I threw the cards. I said, "Are these hoes attacking me?" Spirit said, "No." They told me 3 or 4 times that the way I was feeling about an hour ago had nothing to do with nobody online. They said, "This is in your family, in your bloodline." And Spirit said, "You got to beat it. That's all you can do is just beat it and fight it and beat it." And that's what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go get in this tub, y'all. I'll see y'all later. But them generational hexes are for real. And okay, for example, there's some people that have the generational hex that's tied with the prison industry. Yeah. You'd be surprised of the people persecuted that are innocent. A lot of people don't. These are things that people don't really talk about. But every now and then you'll see in the news a person that was, put in prison for 10, 20 years and didn't commit the crime. That's another one. And we can't be bragging about having large prisons and stuff. It's a trip. It really is. That can be a generational hex over your family too. Okay. These industries, and see, for me, as a witch that has been there, done that, and being so empathic, that I want to free people from that. I don't, and it's so much to do out here. It's so many people that are wrapped up in that, and it's so sad. And so hey Ella, thank you, sweetie. Thank you, sweetie. Anyway, I have been sort of having a hard time I think that I need to get my mother's ashes. And so those are on the way, actually. And so I will be doing a ceremony. I'm going to ask Spirit if they want me to do it publicly. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like my mother's funeral is actually, the video is actually public. And so, hey, Shavonda, High Priestess, hello. And so, I think that I will feel a lot better and I'll be able to do much more because, my mother, even though she didn't know, she couldn't fathom some of the things that I was telling her, all of the knowledge and the wisdom came from her. So she's a very valuable person to me. I don't care if she didn't want to pay attention to what I was talking about. That was her choice to go into the spirit realm, and I can feel those spirits going through me because at first when I was downstairs I felt hot, like I felt really hot and flushed all over. And then up here, I feel cold. So I'm feeling coldness right now. It's so weird, but I just wish that, they would stop what they doing. But see, they got future generations. So that's why my aunt never wanted me to go in the medical industry because, I am sort of in the medical industry. And I called to St. Raphael today and he said, well, you can heal yourself. I was like, St. Raphael, whatever this is, heal me. He said, you got to heal yourself. And so it's a challenge and it's crazy because, I know that I'm right about what I'm talking about. It's not about being right, but it's about what are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do about it? Because I know it's there. And the one thing that I can tell you is that it's about knowing, being woke, and being sovereign and not being scared. When my sister-in-law passed away, I was living in her apartment and it gets so cold and hot. Yeah. Yeah. And to me, I feel like we're going through medical spiritual abuse or something because, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something. That whole corona thing, I lost faith in the medical industry. That's what the corona should have done for you, made you lose faith in it. Made you lose faith in it. And then you be hearing about people that die of the corona. For some reason, the ventilators are killing them. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So maybe they, I don't know, and again, I am not condemning anybody that is a doctor or a nurse because a lot of them just have the intent to help people. But they don't know the kind of witchcraft that involves. And see, that's why it's so important to be connected to the ancestors. Because if you're not, you could be a statistic. You could become a part of those people that are dying of the corona. You could be a part of those people and you don't want to, like, for me, I want to die of natural causes. That's how I'm gonna die. I'm saying it right now. Damn it. When I'm old, I ain't like shit. I feel like and you got to have the will to survive out here. This is a trip. You know what I'm saying? Because if you die of natural causes, you probably either gonna die in your sleep or you gonna just kind of, a gateway gonna open and you're gonna say, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go through that mug. But if the medical industry kills you, that's totally different. That's murder. And I believe that okay, y'all, I found out my mother died on June the 2nd. That's when I found out. And Spirit told me that it was her medication that did it. It was her medication that did that to her. And that her doctor had told her to quit drinking, and she shouldn't have quit drinking cold turkey too. You have to wean yourself off of alcohol. You cannot quit. Do not do that. That's how Lafayette died. The guy that played Lafayette, that's how he died. He died because he quit drinking. and he died of congestive heart failure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that my mother's spirit has been, she's an angel. Okay. So, not going to get into everything that I knew that had happened to her spirit, but right now she's definitely, she up there. Okay. And, she is with my grandfather, is what I can tell you, that she's with my grandpa. So, and my mom loved her mother, but she loved her father like passionately. Like I think that that's when my mother lost her father very, very early in life. And I think my grandpa died when she was like, I gotta ask when my grandpa had passed away. His name was Adolph Senior was his name, and he passed away when my mother was, she had to have been in her teens, because she told me that he used to babysit me, so it was definitely after I was born. I got to get his obituary too. I got to figure out where that's at. Anyway, y'all, yeah, it was that oh man, it was an awful feeling, and so I did do an exorcism incantation, because it was a harmful spirit that was running all through me, and spirit said, well, you got to fight that thing off. You got to tell it where to go, and tell it not to hurt nobody in your family, because and it's crazy because I believe that they track us by them, probably by them social security numbers, or maybe even our Akashic records or something. I don't know. Like, I just don't trust them. I trust myself. I trust shit. I would trust my son to do open heart surgery on me, and it ain't nothing wrong with my heart. I swear to God, you know what I'm saying? So it's more so with me, it's been anxiety. But here's what I want to tell you. If you've had anxiety long term, that can be significant damage to your heart, because anxiety is not, is because doctors will say, oh, well, it's just a little bit of anxiety. Why? Why is the anxiety there? And what is it actually doing to our bodies? So anxiety is something that I haven't suffered from most of my life. So I'm guessing that my heart chakra is fine and healing itself. And so, just to let y'all know, on a side note, your allergies are actually connected to your heart chakra. And so, I'm gonna get in the tub and eat something and take a rest break, because I'm probably hungry too. But I'm gonna do that, and then later on, I'm gonna be, putting together my allergy healing, because I got all those herbs down there. But I'm like, well, shit, so it's a trip. So I'm going to heal myself of these allergies. I hate it. I hate having to take Benadryl. And Benadryl normally makes people go to sleep. It makes you tired and sleepy. And so I can imagine that some of the mental fog would come from that. I just believe in natural healing. And so, and I think that stuff like allergies, anxiety, a lot of people say, well, I'll just take a pill. And it's like, I don't want to take a chill pill. I want to, be healthy naturally. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for y'all prayers and stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I really do. And I think that it compounds itself. And I think that's why people go through stuff after people die like that, because, I went through a lot like the past few days, during the funeral. I was crying so hard, and it felt like a freight train hit me during her funeral. And I kept looking at my candles that I had lit, and I had that, how I'll get that You know how you can see the energy around the candle? Well, my vision was it was kind of like foggy, and it was weird, and I just was like, oh my God. I was like, God help me. I kept saying, God help me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know what? As soon as I feel better, guys, as soon as I feel better, which Spirit told me it was gonna be about 6 o'clock. What time is it? They a little, yeah, they told me, because I said, well, when am I gonna feel better? And they said 6 o'clock or either in 6 hours. And so as soon as I do that, I am going to put together that healing remedy. And I'm also waiting on my tea balls to get here, because I had to order a pack of some new ones. You know, the little tea steepers, little stainless steel ones. I had to order those. So I'm going to, put together that tea and just use coffee filters and start drinking it. And then, so we'll talk about it. Okay. Cause I'll be giving myself the treatments daily. And typically with herbs, you don't need to take herbs long term for certain ailments. You may need to keep the recipe so that if it come back up again. But like usually with herbs, you only need like maybe a weekly, maybe you need to be, taking it herbally daily for like a week or maybe 2 weeks. You don't have to be on herbs long term to for them to heal you. And I'm serious about that. So, so you may want to watch me a little bit later. I am the cat's meow. My mother's family side suffers with heart problems, unfortunately, several deaths due to the heart. Yeah, well, we gonna work it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we got way too much living to do. And you ask yourself where, for me, I always have been the person to ask why. Because they'll say, oh, well, the doctors will give an explanation, but it's like, why? Why? And why is there such a struggle for us to heal ourselves naturally? And why does it seem like, because I swear to you, it seems like they're either in competition with us or something. And so I call and claim my sovereignty from that. I don't want nothing to do with that. You see what I'm saying? So I'll be back later, y'all. I'll be back later, y'all. Thank you for coming. And I'll see y'all in a little bit, okay? Y'all see how I got these swords though? Yes, baby. And I got my athame. I'm wearing my little athame because this stuff. This is tricks of the mind. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord. And yes, I did call to Jesus, but Jesus was like, I can help you a little bit, but what you gonna do? What do you think you need to do right now? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Love and light.